Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Gridiron Glory, where we're currently recapping, I should say, Week 3 NFL games. We cover all 32 NFL teams, proudly going over stories, highlights, successes, failures. So today we'll be looking at the Minnesota Vikings hosting the Houston Texans. The Vikings coming away 34-7 winners at home with the win there. Sam Darnold, the quarterback, 17 of 28, 181 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, continuing a renaissance in his career as he's had noted struggles early on in his career, but sort of hoping to rebuild his career this year and establish himself as a viable NFL quarterback, and certainly off to a strong start. And it certainly helps having a guy like Justin Jefferson on your team. 6 catches, 81 yards, a touchdown. Aaron Jones productive in both the run game and the pass game. 19 carries, 102 yards, 5 catches, 46 yards, and a touchdown. So the Vikings playmakers stepping up, especially with guys like TJ Hawkinson and Jordan Addison out for an extended period of time. So Darnold's doing a solid job spreading the ball around, getting lesser known receivers involved, guys like Jalen Naylor, 3 catches, 31 and a touchdown. So doing what needs to be done there and spreading the ball around. So a good showing there for Darnold and the Vikings. And then looking at the Vikings defense, a very strong game, shutting down CJ Stroud and a Texans offense that has been very successful early in the season and throughout Stroud's career. So to get the 2 interceptions off of Stroud by Greiger Hill and one by Cam Bynum. So you get the turnovers, you force stops, you get a lot of momentum on the defense. You get 3 sacks by Jonathan Greenard, the addition for the Vikings, and that was a very strong free agent pickup for Minnesota, and he formerly played for the Texans, so a bit of a revenge game for Jonathan there to get the 3 sacks for the team you had previously been employed by. So big momentum there for him. Stephon Gilmore, the cornerback, another addition. Great coverage, 4 tackles, a tackle for loss, and did a great job locking up the Texans receivers.
Yeah, did a great job there. Obviously, this was a battle of two 2-0 teams going into this, a hyped up matchup between the two undefeated squads that was the Houston Texans against the Minnesota Vikings at home, US Bank Stadium. The Vikings fans were certainly very excited for this matchup. Sam Darnold going out there and, being his confident looking self again, through his third game as a starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. You mentioned it before. The 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, the 4 sacks, maybe a little bit of a head scratcher there, but still nonetheless. I mean, this Vikings defense, went out there, went out there and shut down what was supposed to be a very athletic CJ Stroud. And quite frankly, CJ Stroud just kind of ran into a buzzsaw in what is a very veteran experienced defense from this Viking squad. So, guys like, Andrew Van Ginkel and Harrison Smith and, Stephon Gilmore, of the like. So, this was a Vikings team that looked like, hey, we're not, we didn't give up. Yeah, we might have gotten rid of Kirk Cousins. We might have made the moves that we had made. We might have had the offseason that we did have if I'm the Minnesota Vikings, given the offseason storylines and everything that they have had to endure as a fan base. But no, now here they are, 3-0, off to a beautiful start. And yeah, there's still a lot of football left to be played. And yes, there's still, 14 of these things that you have to go out there and play. So, do I think they keep the winning record? to be honest, I still don't know, but I like what I'm seeing. And if they can keep this up, they got a lot of great things in store for them. So Sam Darnold, yeah, I mean, you didn't expect it, but I mean, he's got a really good offensive line, and that's the thing too is the Vikings do have a very solid offensive line, which I feel like is the difference maker for Sam Darnold to be able to here go and being able to have this career revival. He's also got a really good coach. He's got a really good coordinator too. Guys like Jalen Naylor, Aaron Jones, and then you got probably a top 3, 4, probably top 2 or 3, maybe top 1 or 2 NFL receiver, Justin Jefferson. So the face of the franchise, Justin Jefferson, the best player on the entire roster. So yeah, a tough break for Houston. Just it just happens, CJ Stroud, Houston, you play enough of these NFL games, you play football long enough, you're going to have a game like this. So
Definitely a tough game for Houston. We can highlight Stephon Diggs in his return to Minnesota, a very solid showing, 10 catches for 94 yards. So he was productive in his return to Minnesota. Also returning was Danielle Hunter. Didn't have his biggest game statistically with just the 2 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 2 quarterback hits, but he was a mainstay on the Vikings defensive front 7 for several years, and he did make some plays and got some pressure. So we had some guys coming back, and on both sides, both teams had some players that had been playing for the other side. So an interesting little wrinkle there.
Yeah, a very interesting wrinkle there for sure. So yeah, very good win for the Minnesota Vikings. They go out there, they get the job done. They win 34-7, now 3-0. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow on the Gridiron Glory. This has been another great episode with Will and Tad.